Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One, and I am back. You know what? Cut that. Save that. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. All right. Bump the intro. Bump the intro. All right. We're gonna get into the Patriots have cut Antonio Brown. I was the only one on YouTube pretty much telling y'all, I don't know if the Patriots should sign Antonio Brown because of the accusations, which, these are not confirmed nor denied. The sexual misconduct, the sexual accusations with Brittany Taylor. I was the only one, and I know a lot of people came on my live stream and watched the re-air of the live stream a week back, and they was talking all this woo-woo about when I was laying in detail. I gave y'all the pattern, okay? I gave y'all evidence. I told you guys. I told you about the text messages and what he sent to Brittany Taylor. And a lot of people were saying, "Oh, what text messages? Oh, she's out to get his money. She's out for fame," which I also said in that same live stream. Every time Antonio Brown gets himself in hot water, the first thing, his classic MO is, they're out to get my money. They're out to chase my bag. They want the moolah. That's the reason why they're throwing out these felonious charges on me. That's his pattern. That's his DNA. He tries to make the other individual look like they're trying to chase a check. They're ambulance chasing. They're out to get his money. I was the only one telling you guys that you have to be careful when you co-sign or when you make excuses for Antonio Brown. The only reason why Antonio Brown is not in very serious trouble, because with Brittany Taylor, what she is reporting, she didn't make it, she didn't go through the procedures of, making it a criminal act by calling the police. And a lot of these charges are from 2017, which 2017, 2018, that's not hella long. That's not hella long by a stretch, okay? But she waited, and the 3 separate sexual incidents that transpired between Brittany Taylor and Antonio Brown, she, really didn't go through the process, okay? Didn't go through the process. Now, here's some more, and the reason why the Patriots are releasing him was he was already in hot water with the Patriots when they signed him. Antonio Brown and his agent Drew Rosenhaus, they never told them about the Brittany Taylor angle. They knew about it before all of us did. But normally when I'm not even gonna make this video any longer. But if you're trying to get hired at a company, and a company wants to know your background, and you have something in your history that's sort of recent, but it's not laminated on your criminal record, and nobody really knows about it, you have an obligation to tell your employer, look, something transpired in the past couple of months. Me and my lawyers handling. This is what's going on. This is what they're accusing me of. Yada yada yada. Antonio Brown failed to tell the Patriots that, and the Patriots really can't get mad at Antonio Brown, okay? Because if the Patriots would have just Google is your friend, the Patriots, if they would have done their own investigation strictly on the Brittany Taylor thing, they probably wouldn't have came to the conclusion of signing him. But they wanted to sign him first before, all the other teams get an opportunity to try to sign him and lure him away as well. Because remember, a lot of people, particularly in the media, they were talking like, oh, Antonio Brown's so smart, this with the Oakland Raiders. He knew that the Oakland Raiders were not going anywhere, so he tried to orchestrate himself out of Oakland like he did in Pittsburgh, which I could have told you, look, if you had to wait to go to training camp to figure out whether or not a team is going to, it's going to be a very successful team, then it's laughable for Antonio Brown's standpoint. He chose Oakland. Remember, they was trying to trade him to Buffalo. He did not want to go to Buffalo. So the next logical place, and the only place that had the conversation to orchestrate a trade, is Oakland. He was happy to be a Raider. Remember all that stuff? The below average fan could tell you that the Oakland Raiders are not going anywhere. Okay, they're going into a rebuilding phase. They got rid of a lot of good players like Akilo Mack and Amari Cooper, traded away those assets, okay, to try to rebuild to get more draft picks so John Gruden can create the team he wants. Okay? So Antonio Brown, it's not like Antonio Brown did not know this, because we all knew this. Okay? So the media has been going around trying to tell the world that Antonio Brown is this mastermind. Like, he orchestrated this from day one. He knew exactly what he was doing. The only reason why Antonio Brown, when it comes to the Oakland Raiders and the Patriots, the only reason why Antonio Brown was getting those huge contracts was the fact of his talent. He's a very skillful talent receiver. Nobody's taking that away from him. Okay? That's why he can maneuver and get those contracts. But like I said in my live stream last week, he's never going to be able to recoup the money he lost in Oakland. And now it's going to be double hard to try to recoup the money from New England. A lot of teams are not even going to ask for Antonio Brown to see if he wants to join a third team in the NFL. This season is not even 3 weeks old yet, and already Antonio Brown has been cut from his second team in less than a month. Think about that for a second. In less than a month, Antonio Brown has been cut. Now, a lot of people are talking about Antonio Brown as far as the future for him. I don't see Antonio Brown signing to another team this year. Me personally, if I was Antonio Brown, I would, try to get this stuff behind me. You know, the Brittany Taylor angle, even if he was, even if, even if, even if half of it was true, let's just hypothetically say half of it was true, okay? Still, you don't want that type of bad press about you, okay, out there to the masses. I think he did the wrong move in trying to intimidate her by trying to, and I'm telling you, if they have the ability to go to court, that's what their timeline is going to be against Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown manipulated her, intimidated her. That's why she couldn't go to the police. That's why she took so long, because she was scared of Antonio Brown, because they're going to demonstrate, even with this second accuser that Sports Illustrated did a piece on. Antonio Brown can't shame her like he shamed the other victims, in his past. He can't shame her because she already came out the gate saying, look, I don't want his money. I just don't want him to, ridicule me and, basically interrogate her, intimidate her. Excuse me, that's the word, intimidate. And that's what's going on with Antonio Brown. With these new allegations, he went as far as trying to shame Brittany Taylor in a group chat, trying to get everyone to ride his wave to basically try to get everyone on his side, and maybe get some of those people in that group chat to troll Brittany Taylor. Okay, get their troll on. And the Patriots, the NFL told Antonio Brown, look, we don't know what's what. We don't know which way it's up. Could you please don't communicate to Brittany Taylor? And he said, okay, but he's still trying to finagle and intimidate this lady and try to strategize on this lady, when he should have let his lawyers handle that. When he should have let his Drew Rosenhaus handle that. When he should have let the NFL continue doing their investigation handle that. When he gets his opportunity in court, let the court process handle that. But Antonio Brown wants to handle things his way, and that's why Antonio Brown is in the predicament that he's in. So, the future of Antonio Brown. We're gonna cut. Look, I was the first one, and I got a lot of people hit me up everywhere talking about, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, this girl's out to chase the check, out to chase the bag. Okay. She knew what she was getting herself into. Everyone was explaining Antonio's behavior, trying to make him into this quote-unquote mastermind. Like, he knew what he was getting himself into. He was orchestrating. He was playing behind. He had the strings, playing the puppet. Everybody was, including media. The funny thing I saw was, speak for yourself. Marcellus Wiley, when they was talking about Antonio Brown in that same telecast, trying to explain it, trying to make it seem like, oh, he know what he's doing. We're not 100% sure if this lady is truthful. Okay, we're not 100% sure what took place. trying to explain it away. And then in that same telecast, you know, they said the Patriots has cut doing business with Antonio Brown, and now when that like 20 minutes after them, basically saying Antonio Brown is a mastermind, he's a genius. Oh, Antonio Brown is being lied on. We're not sure what transpired. All this woo woo, and particularly on social media, people were talking about, oh, Brittany Taylor's a scorn lover. I believe they said scorn lover on Speak for Yourself, but when the Patriots release Antonio Brown, that's icing on. Okay, now that's concrete. Now you have to change your delivery, particularly on the angle of this report. Now you're going to have to say, oh, there's a second woman saying the same thing. And, this woman is not chasing a chick. Antonio Brown, in this article from Sports Illustrated, and I don't know if the article's out now, but this man posted this woman's family in this group text, trying to intimidate her. Doing the same tactics he did with Brittany Taylor. Doing the same tactics he did with I forgot the couple when he was throwing furniture off the balcony. So, I mean, Antonio Brown, he's a hellified, talented receiver, but talent can only get you so far. Talent can only excuse so many bad behavior. And when the Patriots do not want you, that's a death sentence in the NFL. Because when the Patriots says thanks, but no thanks, y'all think that he's going to find a job like that? Even if the most desperate team, like let's just say the Jets, let's just say hypothetically the Jets want to sign Antonio Brown. They're not going to offer Antonio Brown what he was making, equal to what he was making with the Patriots. He's not even going to make half of what he was making with the Patriots. Antonio Brown, a lot of people, and I said this in my live stream last week. I told you guys, Antonio Brown already squandered $30 million that he's never going to get an opportunity to recoup. Yesterday, he squandered away $9 million, potentially $20 million for an additional year that he's never going to get an opportunity to recoup. If Antonio Brown comes back next year, do y'all think that he's going to make that type of money again? No. Antonio Brown is not going to be able to recoup enough money next year to make up the money that he lost this year. And I was the only one that was saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. I gave y'all the blueprint on how Antonio Brown operates on every accusation, on every situation. He always tried to come as, look, I'm the victim. Look, they're trying to get my money. Yo, they're trying to take my money. They're trying to take my bag that I worked hard for. These allegations are false. The incident when he threw furniture over the balcony. He said, quote, they just doing all that because they're trying to get my money. The Brittany Taylor one. Oh, she's saying all this because she's out to get my money. This new woman is saying, look, I don't want your money. I just want you to not intimidate me by putting my family on social media, by putting my family out there on blast. That's all. She just wants She just basically wants Antonio Brown to stop his intimidation tactics. Okay, that's 2 women. Y'all don't think he has done this with other women? And now I guarantee you, in the next couple of months, you're going to see a whole slew of women coming out talking about how Antonio Brown treated them. You're going to see a whole slew of women. Some of these women are just out to get the money. Okay? But out of all those stories, there's going to be some stories in there that's going to be muffled somewhat of women who, was truly violated by him, but they're not going to get the opportunity to tell their story because of all these other women saying, oh, you mean I can make money off this? Okay? So you're going to see a whole slew of stuff. And I didn't even get into him and the doctor. It was a doctor's appointment, and the doctor was, just doing his job. And Antonio Brown, it's kind of funny, but I can understand the magnitude of it. The man, he pretty much embarrassed the doctor by farting in his face. And then what made matters worse is Antonio Brown didn't even pay for the visit. So we're not even talking about that. We're not even going, and see, I didn't even get into the Mike Madoff, GM of the Raiders, when he called Mike Madoff a cracker. Now, a lot of people on social media, a lot of people on these ESPN, Fox, they was trying to make the cracker word as equal as calling Mike Madoff the N-word. We all know what that word is. And the two are two. There's not a lot of history in cracker, but there is a lot of history in the N-word and where it originated from, and why that word was used back in the day. Okay, and it's a lot of history behind that word. Okay, but cracker and the N-word, they're not in the same ballpark. They're not even in the same league. Okay, but Antonio Brown called that man a cracker. Okay, y'all got to understand. All you got to do is Google this stuff. When you type in Antonio Brown name, you get all of the recent accusations, the recent incidents on this man. And a lot of you guys was rocking this man to death, okay? Making excuses for him, all right? Saying that he was a mastermind, how he was so much of a mastermind, he's willing to lose $30 million with the Raiders just to be released from the team. When the whole truth didn't even come out. He wasn't going to get that money anyway because he done violate. He paid up so many penalties and he violated that contract so much so that he's not going to get the opportunity to get that $30 million from the Raiders. So when he found out that news, then he wanted to be released from the Raiders. If he had an opportunity to get that $30 million and all he had to do just start game 1, he'll be a member of the Oakland Raiders. And now he tries to get ahead of the story yesterday by announcing on Twitter, basically saying that he appreciates the opportunity from the Patriots, and then the Patriots released him. And then a lot of people trying to spin that into, oh, that's the mastermind of Antonio Brown. What mastermind that you can sit up there and say that that you respect, that will lose $30 million and haven't even started the job yet? What mastermind that you can say, oh, I want to be that person? What mastermind that will sit up here, get signed to a team, has the ability to make $9 million this year and have the possibility to get an additional year where he can make $20 million, and y'all still ride this coattail, topping him off, saying that he's a mastermind? ask yourself that. Talent can only get you so much far, but eventually your actions dictate whether or not you're valuable to a team, to an organization, to a company. That's it. Okay. So I say like 14 days ago, I made a live stream. A lot of you guys on the live stream, as well as the re-air of the live stream, was making excuses for Antonio Brown, okay? And I told you in that live stream, I felt like the Patriots jumped the gun a little bit because they wanted to be the first team to have the opportunity to sign Antonio Brown. If they would have done their due diligence, if they would have done their own internal investigation, they would have found out a lot of this stuff was creeping, was around the corner. They probably would not gave Antonio Brown an opportunity to sign to the team. And they was already mad when the ink dried that Antonio Brown knew about a lot of these accusations, but did not tell the Patriots organization, did not tell Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. That's why a lot of people were scratching their heads like, why are the Patriots are signing Antonio Brown and all this other stuff is popping up? Okay. They was already mad when the ink dried, when they signed a contract with Antonio Brown. But that was his final warning. They said after that, they're not putting up with it. They're going to release him. And that's exactly what they did. They released him. They don't need Antonio Brown. The Patriots did not need Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown needed the Patriots to prove a point, to prove that he can be very successful in the Patriots way. I feel like Antonio Brown, eventually it was going to catch up with him, because I don't think Antonio Brown is that type of person that's going to, really, I think a lot of Antonio Brown's success is the ability to freelance, the ability to be more talented than a corner or the average safety, the ability of his athleticism. I feel like he flourishes in those type of confinements. But when you are in a constructed confinement where you have to honor the play and honor the call, where you have to be where they want you to be, I don't think Antonio Brown is that good on that level. I think his athleticism hides a lot of the things that he's bad at. Okay, not to say that the man is not smart, he's not intelligent, but to also say I feel like he flourishes a lot on his athleticism, on the ability to freelance. That's why he was so successful in the Pittsburgh scheme, because he pretty much freelance, did his own thing. And another reason to that component is Ben Roethlisberger is a big, heavy guy, so he can literally take a few hits, all right, and stay up long enough to find Antonio Brown when he beats his coverage to give him the ball. A lot of things that Antonio Brown is good at, it would not relate in Oakland. David Carr is not Ben Roethlisberger. If he just gets sneezed on, he's down. Okay? With the Patriots, it's about timing. I don't think Antonio Brown I think the Antonio Brown you saw in Pittsburgh, you would never see with the Raiders or with the Patriots. And then people would assume, oh, he's a step slower. No, he's not a step slower. He's still the same player. It's just if you put him in an offense where the quarterback can just stay upright for a few more seconds, so to the point where Antonio Brown can beat his coverage, that's where Antonio Brown that's where Antonio Brown is good at. He's good at those types of things. So I mean, look, I feel like a lot of people, they sit up here and they tell you this, that, and third about Antonio Brown, and I kept telling people you have to be careful about aligning yourself with someone who's always, you know, always got something going on all the time. He's always in the news for the wrong reason. And you also have to be careful and watch out for somebody that makes the same excuses to sort of convince you that they're innocent. They're the victim. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of other women that's gonna come out. This is gonna be like a leaky faucet. You're gonna see women coming out of the woodwork that's gonna tell you he did this to me, he did that to me. He told me if I told anybody, he was going to shame me, embarrass me on social media. So it is what it is. I feel like this is gonna be a sad, sad story 10 years from now, 20 years from now. 20 years from now, when they do a documentary on Antonio Brown, it's going to be a sad, pathetic story. And, it's only going to get worse. I feel like the last time you seen Antonio Brown play is with the Patriots when he got 40 yards. He was very productive. I feel like that's going to be the last time you see Antonio Brown, in my opinion. I have nothing against Antonio Brown, but I feel like his idol was Oko Cinco, Chad Johnson. They came from pretty much the same region, and Chad Johnson, I feel like his career is going to end like Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson he last played with the Patriots, tried to work in the Patriot system. It just did not work out because his style did not fit with what the Patriots did and what you had to do to be a Patriot. So that's why it didn't work out. He went back home to Miami, his hometown, and they cut him before he had an opportunity to play week 1. And they did it on I forgot that reality show, Hard Knocks, whatever. And that was the last you saw of Chad Johnson. I feel like the last thing you will see of Antonio Brown is him catching those balls for New England. I feel like he needs some help, counseling wise. I think he needs to see a psychiatrist because he has inner demons that intervene on him being a very successful man. So that's all I got for today, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna do another video in the next couple of minutes about Atashi, and then I'm done. All right, it's your boy. I'm out.